Hi guys. Right, many scholars have been asking themselves this question for a long time in terms of the Bible. The question is, Adam and Eve, according to the Bible, had two children. That was Cain as well as Abel. But that's not the case entirely. Um, According to the Bible, it depicts that information, but everyone gets confused as to the fact that Cain had a wife when he went to the land of Nod in the east, according to the Bible. That happened after God banished him and actually placed a mark on his head, saying, "A fugitive and a vagabond shall ye be in the earth for the crimes that you've committed." Then it later states that it was in the land of Nod where Cain knew his wife. I believe I found the answer to this question. When you go into the apocryphal book called the Jubilees, it actually speaks about the genealogy of Adam, Eve, as well as the descendants of the first generation of human beings. I'd like to read an excerpt from Jubilees 4, verse 1. Now, with regards to this, basically, Adam and Eve had many children. But the first three that are mentioned is Abel, Cain, as well as Awan. So Awan actually married Cain. That's how Cain met his wife, or that's how Cain actually became the father of Enoch. Let me read the excerpt for you. Right, it states in the book of Jubilees 4.1, and in the third week, in the second Jubilee, she gave birth to Cain. And in the fourth, she gave birth to Abel. And in the fifth, she gave birth to her daughter, Awan. Now, I'm talking about, it's actually talking about Eve here. And in the first year of the third Jubilee, Cain slew Abel because God accepted the sacrifice of Abel and did not accept the offering of Cain. And he slew him in the field, and his blood cried from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. And the Lord reproved Cain because of Abel, because he had slain him, and he made him a fugitive on the earth because of the blood of his brother. And he accursed him upon the earth, and on the account it is written on the heavenly tables, "Cursed is he who smiteth his neighbor treacherously. Let all who have seen and heard say, so be it. And the man who hath seen and not declared, let him be accursed as the other." That's in Jubilees 4, chapter 4, verse 1. You can check it for yourself. Right, so just to give more clarity on what I've read, the book of Jubilees basically indicates, or is actually an apocryphal book. It was a book found alongside the Dead Sea Scrolls. So the Dead Sea Scrolls, as well as the book of Jubilees and other apocryphal books, were found in a cave. So now the book of Jubilees talks about the beginning as well, in terms of the first generation, Adam, Eve, as well as their bloodline. So basically, Adam and Eve had many other children except for Abel, Cain, and Awan. They had Seth as well. So just to delve into the issue regarding Awan, I want to indicate the fact about Jubilees, because many people will ask themselves, okay, if that's the case, how were they born and when? Basically, a Jubilee, by definition, is a session of 49 years. So when I indicated that, it said on the first Jubilee, there was Abel. On the second, there was Cain. And on the third one, there was Awan. So there was basically a consecutive succession of 49 years, 49 years, and 49 years. So the first person to be born in this case was Abel. The second was Cain. The third was Awan. So there was a 49-year difference in between in terms of their birth. That's why the maximum lifespan of people in the Old Testament before the law came was 969 years. That's according to the excerpt of Methuselah when you read the book of Genesis. Right. I'll elaborate more on chapter 2. Thank you.